show this guy, like the convenience store guy that you see in a lot of movies. But I wanted to show
his heart.
Yeah, that they're real people and he has a real story. And I know a lot of these guys, and I know they're out here struggling, and their wife is back in
They're
India.
our parents.
Yeah, exactly.
That's our dad. That's our mom. Like when people, on the street, I feel like that is my family.
Yeah.
We're all from the same heart, and I always watch a scene and I get a little bit just because I feel like that's what our parents, that's what they were doing. They were fighting and working so hard for us.
That's why I was thrilled when he said he'd do it, because I knew he would. He was. I was picturing him before I even knew him. I was picturing him. And that was, of course, Oak Tree Road in Edison, New Jersey.
Nothing doing yet. Just take care of yourself, okay?
And this thing about Indian people sticking together, it really is a sentiment that I feel.
Yeah.
There is a.
Most cultures have that. Just any kind.
There's just a generosity and a help, and some people don't look at that so positively. But I think, there's something real there.
Well, there's definitely just keeping it at a balance. But Indian people also just specifically are also just so much giving and warmth just associated with the culture because of the values that you're built up with,
Definitely.
And respect and giving and
it's a
duty,
sort of,
you're kind of instilled with that.
Definitely. This scene is very typical of Asif entering Sam, eating that cereal. He got sick from that cereal.
Had several bowls.
Well, typical Asif is he's like, yeah, I get to eat cereal, I'm hungry. Yeah. And then an hour later, I can't eat anymore.
He's yakking in the fake prop sink.
Shot in
another one of my
Park.
favorite scenes. We all have I have my 5 favorite scenes. This is another one. I'm probably in none of them. It's always the ones that you're not in that you know.
Prospect Park in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's the same day as the Bollywood day.
Yeah, long day again.
Long day.
This was as the sun was going down.
So I guess you heard.
I just loved this sentiment of just clearly showing that you can be from any background and still.
Yeah.
It's about finding somebody that understands you and gets who you are. It doesn't have to be somebody exactly.
That's another big theme here, is that there's something that transcends your ethnic background, and that's love and connections you make with people. That's I put that above an ethnic connection. So that was sort of the point here, that he truly loves her and she loves him, and that was sort of what I was trying to show here. And again, later, with Cyril ending up with Maya, yes, she's Indian, but he ends up with her because they truly understand and connect with each other.
Yep.
It really is what I'm showing, is that
it far surpasses any of that.
Exactly. They're not getting together just because they're Indian.
And Maya addresses that with him. She made him look at himself and figure out what he was doing, why he was doing it, and what she didn't want him to be with her for
exactly. And they like each other for the right reasons, and that's what I was showing. And we'll talk about it when that scene comes up later.
And people, I think, struggle with that in their lives. I know people that want to make a statement and they don't realize what they're doing in making that statement is making the exact opposite of what they feel. It's not about these political stances and what you're doing. It's about your heart and who you connect to and who understands you, and it's just far more.
That's all. At the end of the day, that's all you want.
Yep.
Connections.
Yeah.
I want to recognize Jack Bowden Faulkner. The last cue over by the river was wonderful music composed by Jack Faulkner,
who did a lot of these cues along with you.
Yeah. This is
This is a big moment.
Just teasing the In Between Blues song here.
Yeah.
One of the other best songs of this ever. A lot of people's favorites.
This might be my favorite scene. I don't know. It varies.
Medicine at college.
It's a good scene.
This is our.
But I think Alec, you're good in this scene. My second compliment to you.
Keep them coming.
I'm a music major.
I think this is a very difficult thing to do, and this is what I would, confronting yourself, admitting, showing yourself. You've been hiding all this is a very, very hard thing to do, I think, and but I do think it's the thing to do to make things better.
Yep.
is you have to say. I mean, I played with it in the screenplay when I was writing. I was thinking, oh, should he find out? Maybe he should find out secretly or something. But I wanted him to fess up and
it's
tell him.
It's much bigger and much more
that's
of a
the
man
character.
to do. It's a much more respectful and honorable
Exactly.
thing to do.
That's the character arc that he's been hiding this whole time, but then he admits it.
He becomes a man. You know, he becomes he grows up. He realizes what he needs to do.
Yeah, he stands up. I mean, he literally stands up in the scene, but that's what it is.
It's facing all of your fears.
Yeah.
I'm not goofing off.
And I also, in the scene, wanted to show that, you know, his anger, the dad's anger, is not unjustified. It's justified. He's been lied to by his kid. Yeah. Of course he's going to be angry.
For almost 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, here's your son. It's a very close relationship. Somebody you trust, and he's been hiding something. So it's a delicate thing where you're with the son, but you're also with the dad because he really has been hurt.
Yeah. Aside from the fact of the whole music thing, the fact is you still lied to me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what he's really upset about. He's not really upset about the music. He's more upset about being lied to, and that's what I was trying to show as well.
What's beautiful is, you know, later he takes responsibility for creating a situation where that sort of behavior happened, you know, your son lying to you. It's beautiful that, you know, in the end he sees his son's love for music and he comes around, and that's something that is just amazing, you know. In the end, the blood is thicker.
Yeah, there's this scene had a lot of other lines in it, and lines that I loved, and scenes that and it shot. It looked great. It was performed extremely well, but we cut a lot of it, and it was because, and it was the right decision. The reserved sort of fight. They were yelling at each other in some of these takes and some of the things we cut, and yeah, it was very dramatic and stuff on its own. But in the movie, it didn't quite. The sort of reserved confrontation worked so much better. The quiet, it made it so much more real, and a lot of the props for that. And actually, take this opportunity to thank her is Anne Holbrook, who's the editor of the movie. She really did a fantastic job, and really got it. Really, some of these scenes extracted the drama from him in a way that I would have hoped, and I'm very thankful that she did that. And one of the main things about what she did was there's a line as he's leaving that he turns and he sort of tells the dad, you know, I'm a lot like you. I forgot the exact line, but it was a line that I
have a different accent.
I just have a different accent, exactly. And it was a line I loved, but it made him, Cyril, sort of come out on top in that scene, and I didn't want that. We didn't want that, and that was
him
something.
To get the last word.
That's an example of the kind of thing that Anne brought to this film, is that she didn't want him to get the last word, and it makes so much sense when you watch the whole movie. That was the right decision.
His room's all pimped out, even in the...
I'm telling you, it's the
it's the Christmas lights, another prop to John Wachowski. We both love Christmas lights.
Hello.
A quick glimpse of Maya's apartment.
Yeah, very clean. I'd like to talk about the World Trade Center here. I mean, you know, and the American flag here, and this was just, you know, we wrestled with taking the shots out, but just because right after it happened, everybody was talking about taking out images, and my attitude was always, you know, when an actor passes away, you never remove him from a film. You know, and these buildings, I mean, they may be gone, but what they stood for still exists.
And it's really what the movie stands for.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of this, and, you know, being in New York, and it's just emotional to look at.
It's really quite moving right now, just even me watching
it,
you know?
And knowing people that were on the building, it's just, I really needed to keep it in, I thought. And ultimately, after a few weeks, it was obvious we were keeping it in. I think, you know, also we show them in a light that's very positive and very indicative of what they meant, I thought.
And the whole American dream that we're all fighting for, which was what the
which is part of this film.
Yep.
And so I love that the scene's in the shadow of.
I think this is one of the most beautiful things to look at, just visually when you look behind there and you see that.
Yeah.
Just the river and Brooklyn Bridge and Manhattan and just everything, and this scene and what's being talked about here. It is so all together, every piece of what every theme is. You know, it's really.
This is a great.
It all comes together.
Microcosm.
Props to John and the camera crew for making this look great, and for Jack Bowden Faulkner for this theme that he composed.
Yeah, beautiful.
Freezing that day.
Yeah, they put thermals like cut into our sleeves.
And
just to keep us extra warm. It was
so
freezing.
Cold.
Sound blankets all over you guys.
All over our bottom.
Below the shot.
It was freezing. It was freezing. It was the middle of the night. Also, you know, it's like 4 a.m. I remember.
We couldn't have gotten more lucky with that ship going by at that moment. It's like Surreal's ship has sailed. Maya's gone.
And isn't it a Bollywood?
Yeah,
there's Bollywood
and it was some kind of party that had Indian music playing.
Definitely. Well, it was a booze cruise, so you can imagine we were shooting through the night, and this booze cruise would circle around every now and then, and it was like an Indian booze cruise. So there was like this Bhangra Bollywood music blaring every now and then, just coming by.
They're drinking Johnny Walker Black, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I want to talk a little bit about shooting in New York, which was just a thrill beyond any I can imagine. And New York is just an amazing city as it is, but to shoot
vibrant.
there, it's like everybody knows each other, the crew knows each other. They're just very, you know, they're all business,
small world.
But they love what they do and they're passionate about the place. No one would ever leave there, you know. Except us, but I mean,
we love it. We love New York.
It was just great, and some of the scenes we shot in New York were the best. Were my favorite to shoot because it was just a thrill. I couldn't believe it. I would sit there sometimes and pinch myself that here I am, you know, growing up in Jersey, and here I am shooting a film in Manhattan.
God, look at that.
It was just
it's gorgeous.
A thrill. This is this coming up right here. This is another one of those shots that. You know, we did because we worked it out so we had a little time to do this. But I've always liked that kind of dissolve, the light dissolve. Good job on the
game face
crew for doing that. This is another one of my favorite shots in the film. The band coming to conquer.
Some of the musicians are actually the musicians who play, except for Toby. They're the actual players of the music.
Where are you going?
Aaron Patakni, Charles Amos, and Chris Milan.
What do you mean?
Everyone would always cheer at this scene too.
Yeah.
After you know she decided to do her own thing.
That was great.
Go back upstairs.
And what I wanted to show here was the type of person who's quiet throughout most of their most of the time, but you know when the things are on the line, they'll speak up and they'll. And you know the person who speaks less, when they speak, you listen to them.
You pick your battles.
Yeah, you pick your battles, and you know instead of talking all the time, when you do pick and choose the moments where you talk, you really get people to listen.
Because by no means is every Indian woman a certain way. I mean, we all have all the shades. We have a lot of mothers and friends that are quite outspoken. So
definitely.
We're not saying that this is the
Definitely, but this is the one I wanted to highlight for this film. This is a character.
I love the shirt that Surreal wears in this. It's great.
One of his many fine beats.
And it's blue. Do you see that?
I tried ironing that shirt and it's gone now as a result of that because it's polyester and you can't iron it. I learned that the hard way.
It's like a mini video.
Thanks for sharing that.
It's like a mini music video within the movie, I feel, whenever I watch it. It's great.
So
I love this song.
The song was actually written long before the movie was made. And it wasn't written for the movie, but somehow the sentiment of it and I guess what it came out of was similar to what Anurag was writing about, so it just sort of worked out that way.
Yeah, the third compliment to you, Alok, is I was listening to this while I was writing, and it inspired me.
Oh, I love it. You're such an amazing songwriter, Alok, I have to say. Every time I know it, and then I listen to it, and I learn it all over again. It's just it's just another entity in itself.
Thank you.
Really, that's great.
And again, just props to the crew here. with limited lights and limited crowd and limited everything limited. They found a way to make it look great. So.
I love that shot.
Light flares.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Look, you want to talk a little bit about the song? How I'll start. Our ambition was to shoot this live as it happened, and Teresa, our sound person, she was very much pushing for that too. There's something that she thought was a challenge, and we tried our best. But what happened basically was we shot this at the end of a 20-hour day, and all of you guys just
I was exhausted.
You had nothing left. So you did the best, but your voice was shot. Everything was just, so we ended up using that as the scratch track, and then you guys all went back in the studio. And
Yeah, it was absurdly overly ambitious in retrospect, actually, to try to pull that off as not a unit that had rehearsed before together a lot, and just to try to pull that off. But we learned, and next time we'll
But it looks
pre-record
good.
it. Yeah, but we managed to, later, I went into the studio and re-recorded the vocals, and just remembered how I sang it, and we made it fit, which is amazing.
Yeah, and not only you, every guy remembered exactly what he's saying. They watched the scene, so they made sure to match the same motions on the trumpet.
Exactly,
and drums.
The drums, yeah. Charles Megalis on trumpet, amazing musician.
And we were so nervous when we shot this scene, it's a big scene, and I wanted it to say a lot, and it was always a question whether we had gotten all the coverage we needed or not. And we got plenty. We had a lot of, we had the main camera on a little crane here, and then we had a couple of cameras. This was the one day we had extra cameras, and we'd go around the crowd and stuff like that. Between everything, we had all the shots we needed, and props again to the ACs for shooting the B-roll stuff. And again, a big thank you to Anne for, she just did a great job editing this whole movie.
Alec, what's your favorite song from the movie that you like?
Before I answer that question, I just want to say the sitar playing right here, I'm actually playing something else on set, and then I recorded something else later. So for all you sitar players out there who noticed, I apologize. I'll get it right next time. But also I want to recognize my teacher, Pandit Man Ghosh, who is just an amazing force in my life and taught me how to play the sitar. But my favorite song in the movie is, I don't know. I like them, for different reasons. But I like In Between Blue a lot. I like Breathe a lot as well.
Oh no, what's yours?
I would have to say it's definitely not something by Alok. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
The 5% that wasn't Alok.
Yeah. No, I would say, I would think currently Breathe, which is a song Alok sings in the coffee shop, and you'll hear again in the end credits coming up. And also you'll see the music video that's also included on this disc.
Breathe is my favorite song.
Breathes. But this song too, I mean, they're both right up there. I also enjoy the music, Alok, you wrote for Maya's Dance earlier.
Yeah.
That's very good music.
That was so amazing.
Here comes the big reconciliation scene. And Paresh is just so good here. He really makes it work. Mm-hmm. So you never know with these scenes.
You don't want to be too over the top.
No, you want to be reserved.
You want to be what it is, just truthful.
And
when you told us.
I wanted to make sure to the dialogue indicates, that he saw himself in his son, and that's the key.
I'm sorry.
Because just a bit about immigrants, I think it's very interesting that the thing they did, they left their homes, went halfway across the world in a time, we're talking about the late 60s, 70s.
They were the first. It wasn't like now.
They were like
pioneers
in a time where you didn't have computers, you didn't have telephones that you could talk all the time. I mean, that was really a huge risk they were taking by coming here. And I honestly think it doesn't compare to the risk these kids would be taking by following a different path in life or something. And, look how successful they've become by taking these big risks in their lives. And so I kind of wanted to show that
Ladies and gentlemen,
that
this is it. Melody Vision
that's sort of what
fans
makes him come
across
around.
America
That he
has
sees
a winner.
himself and he realizes
And
that
winner is
he's done similar things in his life.
Sees the work and the discipline.
Yeah. And, he may have done him in something else. He didn't pursue a different line of work maybe, but leaving your country, that's a huge thing. Just something.
Well, because it wasn't something that was done there, their
Yeah,
parents
exactly.
didn't support it,
Yeah. So there's every generation it's a different thing, but the impetus behind it, it's the same. You want to just move away, go different places.
Good word, that impetus.
Impetus.
Yeah, we were thinking maybe you guys
Impotence,
could come out
what?
and play with us. Think it would be a
I
little
want to apologize to Aaron Pataki and Charles Amos, who had lines in this scene but were later cut. Sorry, guys. We still love you.
I have nothing else, man.
There's a lot of people that deserve that apology.
Yeah.
Hurry up,
You're going to be late?
I love. Another one of my favorite moments is when he puts the flower. I think it's just so simple and pretty and so indicative of how they've all kind of come around. I think it's another really poignant moment, at least for me. Because I don't like anything big statements. Like in that itself, the
Yeah.
smallest thing
yeah.
speaks volumes,
That's
Sure.
the thing with these moments. You want to hit them, but you don't want to hit them
I know.
so
It's
hard.
too much that. No, it's absolutely.
That's why I just sort of touch her toe. I don't really grab her foot right there. I just want to touch, just touch
people-
it, buzz.
A lot of people ask me what this is, and if you're not Indian, they have the question of what exactly is he doing here, and
Pedicure.
It's a pedicure. It's a form of respect.
Yeah.
It's what you do.
Getting a
It's
blessing.
It's getting the blessing.
Getting the blessings.
The approval, the everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just showing you're my parents and I respect you, and
I know what you've done for me.
it's not just parents. You do it to your teachers, and in the old days,
Will he be okay?
almost anybody older
London is so
sometimes.
far away.
And it's usually a form of this they've taught you as a teacher, your parents
Yeah.
or your teachers, your other teacher. I
Exactly.
mean, it's not just little.
Your gurus.
Yes. Oh, see, this is so beautiful. I love this moment. I love it. Because in the scene
If
before he
only-
said, "When did you last give mom flowers?"
There you
That's
go.
so anyone doesn't realize the moment.
I hope everybody out there had the same reaction you did, Sheetal.
I love it. I really do.
I was going to London.
Toby is also a contractor, which a lot of you guys don't know. That's why he drives the big van. It was actually a production van, and that's all we had to use, I guess. But it worked out for the character, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toby
Alright.
looks like a guy who would drive a van.
Besides, I think we'll fit right into the whole London.
And
Very good.
I kind of like this moment a lot, just sort of looking towards the
Yeah.
future and then bringing back that ball.
Oh, it's so perfect. Just we found each other in a field in London.
Kya baat hai?
We're in the same Bollywood clothes. I love it. I love it.
It was the best way I thought to play
No,
this
I thought
moment,
it was-
reuniting.
I really
We
did
get to
think
have
it
the
was
Bollywood ending
perfect.
without
Yeah.
having the Bollywood ending.
Exactly.
But we kiss. Kind of.
That's not the Bollywood ending. To be continued. ... Sunil and Maya in London Part 2. Sunil and Toby, you rule the universe.
Oh.
There it is.
Oh, gee.
The end.
So, sequel? No sequel? What's up? American Chai
Listen,
2?
If enough people watch this DVD, maybe we'll do a sequel.
Electric Boogaloo?
If you have listened as far as now, then
Yeah.
we're doing all right. If you guys are still listening.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know who's still listening, but if you are,
God bless you.
thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. Really. Thank
I'd like
you.
to take this opportunity because it's the credits and it shows everyone that worked so
Yes.
hard on this movie. I want to thank each and every one of them. We had a lot of shouts out to them, people individually, but all the people